Another recipe I get asked for all the time is for my Braciole. So we're doing a real traditional Italian recipe. So I order a real traditional Italian color, black. So everybody has their own recipe. Everybody has their own tradition. This is mine. So I start out with some round steak here. Traditionally, it was made with flank steak. Flank steak because it was the cheapest cut of meat. Now that's no longer the case. So I use round steak, pancetta, breadcrumbs, fresh garlic, salt, Romano cheese, black pepper, fresh parsley, and the controversial ingredient, raisins. So the first step is we lay out our pieces of whatever you're going to use. Round steak, sandwich steak, even flank steak is fine. At my grocery store, well, not mine, but where I go, they have these really great rectangle cuts, which just screamed out to me Braciole when I first saw them. So what I like to do is I like to put a very thin slice of pancetta on each one. And the reason is because I want that fat from the pancetta to kind of melt into the meat. And it's going to give it a really great flavor. Let me grab that rind off of there. And then from there, we are going to put some salt. And yes, the pancetta is a little salty, so you don't have to overdo it, but you also don't want to underdo it. You want it to have some flavor. We're going to do black pepper. And I use my trusty Turkish coffee grinder. Black pepper. You want these to be real flavorful, so don't be afraid to season. Then from there, we're going to do fresh garlic. Plenty of that. After fresh garlic, we're going to do fresh parsley. And that's, of course, the Italian flat leaf parsley. And you can see I'm kind of putting a lot here, and you'll see in a moment exactly why. We're going to do breadcrumbs. That gives it a nice little texture to the filling. After the breadcrumbs, we're going to do Romano cheese. I really, really encourage you to grate your own cheese. You can't even begin to imagine the difference. The flavor is just incredible. It will bring all of your pastas and everything to new heights. Then we're going to do raisins. So traditionally, my family does not do raisins. But the reason why I tried it the first time is I thought, you know what? You got a lot of salty flavors in here. You got that little spice from the garlic. You got the tang of the cheese. Let's balance it out with a little sweetness of the golden raisins. And it works great. So that's what I do. Some people put like pine nuts in there. I don't particularly, not for any particular reason. But what we're going to do now is we're going to roll them up. So we start on the wider end, and you're just going to roll them up nice and tight. Just like that. And some of this filling is going to fall out. That's why we kind of overdid it just a little bit. Okay? We have to seal them somehow. I like to use long toothpicks. People can use regular toothpicks. People use string. I find that a lot of extra work, to be perfectly honest. So I like to use the long toothpicks. And this way, whenever you sit down to eat at the table, you know there's one toothpick per Braciole. So what I do is I go from the bottom up and then down and then up again. Okay, so now we're going to sear off the Braciole and get them ready for the sauce. Yes, I did say sauce. We're not even going in that direction right now. So the olive oil I like to use is Partana. Partana, it's definitely on the expensive end of olive oils, but it's Sicilian, it's really peppery, it's really green and strong. I think the flavor is outstanding. So that's the olive oil of choice that I like to use. And of course I have it in my handy dandy Italian bottle here. So I've got my pan hot. We're going to put some olive oil in the bottom here. We're going to want to wait until that just starts smoking a little bit because the pan's got to be really hot. And when we lay these in here, we're going to lay them seam side down so that this way they close up when they start to cook. You're basically, for lack of a better term, you're kind of cauterizing it, which is a little crude, but that's what it is. So we're going to lay them, like I said, seam down right in the oil, and you should hear that sizzle right away. Right in there. And you're going to leave them there. You're not going to touch them for like 3 minutes. Okay, so once you have your bracioles that are browned on both sides like this, what you want to do is you want to drop them into a pot of simmering sauce. So what you can do is refer back to the sauce video, refer back to the meatball video, and the part where we would put the meatballs into the sauce, just put the braciole in there. And they're going to cook inside the sauce, and you're going to let them simmer and bubble for about 2 to 3 hours or until they get nice and tender. And then they're going to be ready. So let's grab one out and let's see how we did. So we'll put these into the sauce here. And there's one that's ready. And let me grab a little knife. And let's cut this puppy open. And there you go. And you'll see everything in there. You'll see the pancetta, the breadcrumbs, the parsley, the cheese, the raisins. It's all in there. And all you're missing is the pasta.